Hello everyone, my name is Brownie and welcome back to the channel. Today I'm talking about why Black Ops 4's Blackout mode needs to be successful. First of all, the beta, I didn't really got everyone hyped as much as Activision would have liked. From personal experience, I've not been excited for the beta at all. I played on weekend 1 on the PS4, which I went out of my way to get because I usually do play on Xbox. Played it for the first week, as you can see on my uploads on my channel, but since then, when the Xbox beta came out, I just didn't really want to play it. I played 2 games, recorded 2 gameplays that I don't even want to show anyone because they were just terrible, boring matches, to be honest. But I just don't feel like it can't be just me that's not hyped up for the game. The multiplayer isn't fun, which is meant to be the funnest aspect of a Call of Duty game, but it just isn't this year round, I don't think. Usually I should have wanted to play the beta non-stop for the full 2 weekends, but I just, no chance I would play it that longer. Like, I went and played PUBG, which is not even fully released yet, an unfinished game. I'd rather play that over an slightly unfinished version of a AAA studio that's had a 3-year development cycle. It just shows how little effort they've put in. The reason that Blackout mode needs to be successful is because, in its current state, as I've just mentioned, I don't think a lot of players are going to buy the game. There's no campaign, which they took out to replace with the Blackout mode, which I'll get onto later. But for a lot of people, there's not really a reason to buy the game. A lot of people just buy Call of Duty games for the multiplayer. And with the multiplayer not being as good a quality as previous games, I don't think many people are going to want to pay for it, especially with how dear the full price game is. But the Blackout mode needs to be successful in order to get people to buy the game at release, rather than waiting a couple of months and then thinking there's not really much point now because people could get bored of it by February time because the multiplayer is just not good enough. And Blackout mode, if it isn't good, could be the death of the game a lot sooner than what everyone thinks. This relates to the player retention as well, because if the Blackout mode is a flop, people aren't going to keep playing the game throughout the year, especially because there's other Battle Royale games such as Fortnite, which is a free-to-play game on all platforms, and PUBG, which is available on the PC and Xbox, which is only £25. But on that there's already 3 maps. On this there's just going to be 1 map the size of Fortnite, and they're not even letting us know how many players it's going to have in the game, because usually for a Battle Royale mode you're expected to be around 100 players, but they've not even confirmed how many they're going to actually be able to fit in. So it could be anything from like 50 players, which is still a lot for a Call of Duty game to handle. And then you can get into all that with how can the engine handle it and things like that, but assuming it can handle everything, is 50 players really enough when you've got other Battle Royale games that everyone's playing, that I'm going to think twice about buying a Call of Duty game just for a Battle Royale at £50 when you can buy one for half the price in PUBG, or just play a free-to-play one such as Fortnite, which is one of the most popular, it is the most popular game at the moment. Moving on to the point I made earlier about the campaign, removing the campaign for a Call of Duty game is quite unacceptable. To say that it's always had a campaign, and looking back to like the first Black Ops campaign, which was one of my favourites to be honest, it's just progressively got worse and more detached from the original storyline. But to remove the campaign fully from a Call of Duty game is quite unacceptable. So the Battle Royale mode's got to hit those heights that it just needs to, because otherwise without that it's going to be a complete fail, and they just can't justify giving you one less big feature in a game, because a lot of players do like to play the campaigns because you've got something to aim for, such as achievements and completing it on veteran difficulty. Without that it's just geared towards multiplayer, so if with the multiplayer being bad in my opinion, I don't know about yourself, please let me know in the comments below if you are actually interested in the multiplayer, but I won't be getting it just for that or anything to do with that. I don't even think I'd play it even if I did buy the game. But if the Battle Royale mode is good, I will be buying it just so I can bring you content on it. And I am a big fan of the Call of Duty series, but in recent years it has declined massively. So yeah, they do really need to make sure that it is a good enough mode to justify removing a campaign. As well as this, the complete game has to compete against other big titles. You got EA releasing Battlefield 5 or Battlefield V a week before the full release of Call of Duty, so that could be one of their biggest new competitors. Even though there's still going to be Fortnite around, there's still going to be games like PUBG around and things like that. So they're just struggling really, especially because they're trying to put in microtransactions and charge for DLC, whereas EA aren't having any. Well, so they say they're not having any chargeable DLC in Battlefield 5, and there's not going to be any microtransactions as far as I know, but that's going to be a big seller for EA this year when they could bring out 5 expansion packs and Call of Duty could, but why would you pay full price for a game that's not even got a campaign, which Battlefield 5 will have? Battlefield 5 can possibly have a Battle Royale mode. They've not really released any information on that yet, but do stay tuned because I will be bringing some videos out about that when information is released. To say that both games are going to be the same price at release, I know which one is going to be the most valuable in terms of game modes and updatable content to make sure that you can still keep playing the game without having to shell out any more money. Leading on from this, they do need to nail it with the Battle Royale mode because they've made it is a big innovative step which fans have been calling out for years. But if they don't deliver, people are just going to think, well, there's other games that are innovating with smaller studios and smaller budgets. Why can't this big AAA studio that's been at the top of the game for this long be able to innovate and make new modes that are actually engaging for fans? So if they can absolutely nail it, it will restore a lot of people's faith in the franchise and they'll be actually looking forward to future games. But if they do bottle it and it's nowhere near like what they're saying and it can't compete, people are just going to think it's just the end of Call of Duty really. And like I mentioned earlier, the Battle Royale mode could be some people's only reason for wanting to even consider buying the game. So if it isn't any good, when we'll know in the beta what it's going to be like, because the beta comes out so close to the initial release of the game. They're not really going to be able to change too much things, and it'll just be an issue of balancing and things like that. They're not going to be able to change the map drastically, they're not going to be able to change a lot of the core mechanics drastically. So what we see in the beta is more than likely going to be near enough the final product which we get on release day. They said it's not going to be released later on in the life cycle of the game, it should be out when the game is out, so we'll have to wait and see on that. But yeah, I think it is, from a business point of view as well, it is crucial that they absolutely get this right, because they might not be the top game anymore after this year's done, because usually a Battlefield game as well lasts for 2 years and Call of Duty only lasts for 1 year, and World War II died quite fast. People were thinking Return to Boots on the Ground was going to be a long-lasting game that people were going to enjoy, but I think they're just catering too much to one specific type of fans' needs by trying to make everything so fast-paced and everything like that. They need to try and diversify it so you can have maps where it is fast-paced, and like Modern Warfare 2 could have been were fairly fast-paced. When you had like Marathon and Lightweight, you could be over in the map really quickly, and it were a skill to use that, especially when people were playing slow. But then if you did want to play slow and have more powerful classes, such as like you could have bling on your assault rifle and have a silencer and a sight, like using a silencer and a heartbeat sensor, which could be used to your advantage in a game. But it feels like now they're not really changing it enough and trying to appeal to more people. It just feels like they've gone from one set of fans to another set of fans and they're just going to stay with that group. They're not trying to do a good game across the board that everyone can enjoy, which is going to be a mistake at some point. Like in Battlefield, it will fit to a lot of different styles of play, but even if it doesn't, it's a £50 investment, and you're going to get all this DLC. Also, they've promised you're going to get all this DLC throughout the 2-year life cycle of the game. So it should be a lot better of an investment. So I know where I'm going to be putting my money really, unless they do nail this Blackout mode. But yeah, that's everything that I've got to say really on this topic at the moment. So if you did like this video, please give it a like, and please subscribe for more content coming in the future.